guys, welcome back to my channel. I am coming with you today with a quick video. It's not going to be a long one. I'm kind of skipping out on weekly favorites this week just because most of my favorites have been the same from my previous weekly favorites from a couple weeks ago. But I had to come to you this Friday with a massive discovery, and it doesn't surprise me because I had anticipated that this was coming at some point in the near future. So before I reveal my discovery, which I'm sure you have already known, last year Jaclyn Hill came out with a palette with Becca, so she collaborated with Becca Cosmetics, and they did a highlight and blush palette duo, like highlight and blush. In the palette was a champagne pop and a new highlight that she worked with Becca on called Prosecco Pop, and then I think there was like 3 or 4 blush shades in smaller pans above the 2 highlighters. It came in a white and gold package. Everybody went crazy for it. I did not buy into the hype, thankfully. I did post a video last year on why I didn't buy it, and I'm going to link it down below because it basically, what I say in the video, basically, I was right, because I'm not really a blush person to begin with. My face is usually, like my face makeup, aside from my eyes and my lips, is usually just a moisturizer, foundation, powder, bronzer, and highlight. I'm not really a blush person. Once in a blue moon I will wear blush, and I already own the Champagne Pop, so I didn't really want to buy the palette. Anyways, so I didn't buy the palette because I knew, I had a gut feeling that they were going to come out with Prosecco Pop, which is what I wanted the most out of the palette. And they were going to come out with Prosecco Pop, you know, down the road, whether it was a year or 2 from now, they were going to come out with individual pans. So I patiently waited like a good girl that I am, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited, and I waited. And then, last week, I got an email from Sephora stating that Becca released the single pan form of Prosecco Pop. My friends, my beauty lovers, my girls on a budget who just couldn't afford the $60 to $70 palette last year, if you're looking for Prosecco Pop, it's now in single pan form and it's in my hand. If you don't believe me, I will gladly show you here. It says Prosecco Pop right down there. When you open it up, it looks beautiful. I'm actually wearing it on my face today. Just this gorgeous, luminous, golden shade. So that is Prosecco Pop, my friends, in single pan form. You have no idea how, like, look at just the swatch of it. It's just like a gold, like a serious gold, and it is beautiful. So that is what Prosecco Pop looks like. It's just straight up gold, but it's not too yellow, it's not too champagne, it's perfectly in the middle. I've been wearing my makeup for a while today, so I might be a tad oily in the T-zone, but you know, my highlight on my upper lip and the side of my cheekbones is this puppy right here, and I cannot describe to you how incredibly happy I am that I waited for this particular shade to come out individually. If you guys haven't checked it out, go on the website. The pan is the same size. You get 8 grams of product for a regular cost of the Becca Shimmering Skin Perfector in pressed form. So it is the regular, you know, Skin Perfector pressed form, just like the Champagne Pop has as well. But what I'm a little bit curious to know is when they released this in single pan, they didn't really put Jaclyn's name on it at all. It just says Becca Prosecco Pop. Usually, like last year, she had her name stuck to Champagne Pop, and her name was, you know, Jaclyn Hill dash or ex Becca, you know, Champagne Pop. I don't know why, but her name was taken off both of them. I don't know if it's because she's no longer affiliated with them. I'm not sure. Um, that's a little bit scandalous there, just to kind of, it makes you wonder. But like I said, you guys, if you were waiting for this to come out individual pan, it's out now. Well, at least it's out on Sephora Canada. So I'm assuming if it's out in Sephora Canada, it's got to be out in Sephora USA. I don't know about anywhere else in the world. You would have to look at your local Sephora website in your country and look up the Becca Skin Perfectors and see if Prosecco Pop is added to that list, because it did definitely added to ours, and I was ecstatic. I jumped on that ship as soon as I saw it pop up. I ain't waiting. I ain't waiting. I'm a highlighter junkie, and this is a very nice addition to my collection. If you guys want to see the it's a little bit, my lighting is a little bit too harsh right now because I have my phone light on me, but I just wanted to give you what it looks like with a nice shine on it. It's beautiful. I absolutely think it's beautiful. Golds are my colors. Especially in the summer, I get quite olive. I have an olive undertone anyways, so golds are definitely my colors to work with for highlighting. So just wanted to let you guys know, because I know that, you know, not all of you may have not, you know, picked up that palette, and, you know, just like me, I didn't pick it up either. Honest to God, you guys, I will tell you when I feel something is just not worth the hype, and when it is. And that Becca palette just wasn't it for me, only because I would only use probably the Prosecco Pop in that palette, since I already had a Champagne Pop in an individual pan. And I don't use the blushes because those blushes in there, I think they were more sheen than matte. And I don't use blush as often. So I'm so glad Becca ended up sending this in single form. I did purchase this one myself, you guys. As soon as I saw it on the website, I picked it up myself. Didn't want to waste any time, especially because you never know when people start to find out this is now available single. They're gonna jump on it, especially the ones who didn't have a chance to get up on that palette. So yeah, that's it, you guys. I just wanted to let you guys, you know, stay in the know. Happy first day of spring. This week has passed our first day of spring here in Toronto, Canada. So, you know, we're enjoying the nice sunny weather we've been getting the last couple of days. A little bit more on the mild side, not as cold as it was. But we are, you know, trugging along into summer, thank God, because I'm a summer girl. Can't deny that. But thank you so much for watching. Make sure you like this video. Don't forget to subscribe if you're not. I definitely let you guys know if I come across any findings at Sephora or any drugstore that I've seen, you know, new products that have come up and I haven't seen anybody talk about. Nobody has talked about this that I've seen so far on YouTube, and I don't know if it's because it had already been talked about in her palette from last year's release, but it's a big deal that it came out in individual pan, because I called it last year when they first released that palette that I knew it was going to happen one day or another, and it did. It happened less than a year later, because I think her release was last July, and we are now in mid-March, so maybe about eight months or so after the palette release, the single pan came out. So grateful that I picked it up when I did. If you guys need to find it, go to your local Sephora website. See if you can track one down if you don't have the palette, just because this is just perfect to travel with. And I mean, if you're not going to use the other products, there's no point in picking up that palette anyways. And with that said, thanks so much for watching. Bye, everyone. Mwah!